Bernie Sanders was in Puerto Rico yesterday, and he started off by attacking austerity. As you know, Puerto Rico is just sort of in a disastrous situation. Incredibly high unemployment on the island. They are denied a certain amount of taxes and income because of old maritime laws in this country, which are weird. But they do not have the same bankruptcy protections that most states have. There are hedge funders who have bought a lot of Puerto Rican bonds, and they don't want to take a haircut. And so they are forcing the Puerto Rican government to make cuts after cuts after cuts. And then, of course, we know what happens when there's cuts in public spending. It begins to crater the economy even more and make things even more desperate. Here's Bernie in San Juan. It's a long clip, but it's worth it. Talking about the dangers and the evils of austerity. Here it is, number one.
Es un placer estar con ustedes. Discúlpenme, pero mi español no es muy bueno. Y estaré hablando con ustedes el día de hoy en inglés. Let me begin by telling you that I am...
I should tell you that in Spanish, he just said, I'm going to talk to you in English because my Spanish is not very good. And I want to talk about the cuts that have taken place. Good.
More than aware that there is a humanitarian crisis in Puerto Rico today, and that the U.S. Congress and the administration must address this crisis as soon as possible. The people of Puerto Rico are experiencing enormous economic pain as a result of a depression that has now lasted more than a decade. Since 2006, Puerto Rico has lost 20% of its jobs. About 60% of Puerto Rico's adult population are either unemployed or have given up looking for work. Over the last 5 years alone, more than 150 public schools have been shut down, and the childhood poverty rate has gone up to 57%. At a time when the rich get richer, Puerto Rico now has more income inequality than any state in the United States. In the midst of this massive human crisis, it is morally unacceptable that billionaire hedge fund managers have been calling for even more austerity in Puerto Rico. Austerity will not solve this crisis. As we all know from throughout the world, austerity will cause more suffering for working people and make the rich richer. We must vigorously oppose all efforts at austerity. It is unacceptable to me that vulture funds on Wall Street are demanding that Puerto Rico fire teachers, close schools, cut pensions, and abolish the minimum wage so that they can reap huge profits off the suffering and the misery of the children and the people of Puerto Rico. We cannot allow that to happen. We will not allow that to happen.
There you go. I mean, and that's a big part of why Bernie goes down to Puerto Rico. I mean, obviously, it's for the campaign, but he is out there making sure that at least some measure of coverage of the disaster that's going on in Puerto Rico. I mean, most Americans, I just don't think, pay attention to it.
Yeah, but is he drinking rum and pretending to like local music?
Well,
as might be the campaign technique of other candidates I've seen campaign in
different
Puerto Rico.
people have different approaches.
Different strokes for different folks.
Let's
You
go.
destroy and lay out the case against the policy that's systemically destroying the island. I do an awkward dance to your music and mention rum.
There you go. I mean, Puerto Rican rum.
It is really good, though. It is true. It is true. Not as good as Trinidadian rum.
Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.